Yes, so I've done a lot of pitching in the past. So we do a lot of pitching within our own team as well. But I guess this is about being on stage, presenting your ideas, and hopefully getting someone to say, I want to invest in you. Now, to do that is very scary. It's a bit of a confronting scenario because you're there to be shot down. I think a moment I remember is that being a young engineer, with all the answers of course, standing up on stage with a brilliant idea, realizing that I've greatly underestimated my understanding for the market. So at that point, you think you've got a good idea, but unless you do that homework around evaluating ideas, talking to your market first, it's very hard to do a good pitch. So I think the key advice I give anyone doing pitching to an audience of investors is that understand the market, understand your problem before your solution, and most importantly, understand the drivers for financial success, because there has to be a financial gain in what you do. And that's what these people are going to look like eventually.
I've had to pitch an idea a few times. The first time was at university doing the Griffith Innovation Challenge. We did 3 pitches for that subject, where we first sort of developed an idea and did a little preliminary pitch, then a more refined version, and then a final pitch. So myself and Harrison, who I work with, very happily ended up second in the competition. We were absolutely stoked. It was so much fun. We learned so much about pitching and about marketing, business, a bunch of skills we just didn't have prior to doing that, and that really did help us a lot starting up Hytro and gathering our ideas together and growing them. Since then, we've had to pitch a couple of times. More so with client work, you're obviously pitching yourself more so than a specific idea. They might have a problem they already want solved, and you've got to pitch yourself as to why you should be the person that's going to solve that problem. You know, why pay me money to make this program for you over someone else? You know, what can I offer to you? And selling yourself is a hard skill because it's a bit awkward, and you don't really want to sound boastful or a bit arrogant. But you do have to have a level of confidence, but not arrogance. It's a hard balance to find, but it's a hugely important skill. And even when you're pitching an idea that's yours to someone and you want to get them involved, it can't help, because you're approaching that with the eyes of saying, this is something that you need or you should want to be involved in, and here's why.
Pitching ideas, you need to be specific to what you're pitching for and who you're pitching to. So a pitch to a customer is quite different to a pitch to an investor. There's different motivations, different outcomes. So we tend to have, we develop the pitch deck, and we might have different slides for different situations, and every pitch we're honing for that particular situation. And then also, every time you pitch, you're learning on the feedback and the questions, and you're trying to integrate that back into your pitch. But I think another key thing when you pitch is you want to set the idea, and as quickly as you can, get to the point where the audience is starting to ask questions. Because if you can get them to be inquisitive and understand what's in it for them and what do they need to know, that's the key to getting that traction with them. So, don't use all the time for just explaining your side of the story. Try to get to that point where the customer's engaging more and wanting to find out more information.
The biggest thing that I've learned through pitching is to really understand the audience that you're pitching to, because I think it's vital to understand why they're listening to your pitch and perhaps what information you would like to share with them or that they would like to gain to help make the most of the pitching. And so one thing we've found is that it's not really one pitch fits all, because you have different audiences such as investors, team members, stakeholders, and they're all looking at your pitch in a different way.